Hey there YouTube, I wanted to give a quick little update of how my aquaponics system is doing, and we're starting to see some vegetables and some blossoms and blooms. We're getting ready to have some tomatoes and squash and some other vegetables. So this is the current situation. I've got Dutch buckets running down the left side here, and I've got a 4-inch PVC with a constant flow running on this side. I've got my 5 strawberry plants, all of them with blooms and strawberries on the plants, some of them starting to ripen. I've got some little small tomatoes and some bigger tomatoes. Mind you, these tomato plants were all started from seed, some earlier than others. The white on the leaves, I put a little bit of 7 dust on these plants yesterday just to try to keep some of the pests away. I saw a couple of aphids the other day, and I didn't want them tearing up my plants. Got some blackberry bushes down here in Dutch buckets in the soil. I'm going to make those grow along the chain link fence. Various types of lettuce, a little small tomato that just got started. Basil plant here. This is mustard green. We've actually been harvesting the mustard greens and feeding them to our bearded dragon. A little bit of that 7 dust still on there. There's a basil, some more mustard greens, more basil, more mustard greens. Get a load of the size of that. My hand actually up to where it is. We've been harvesting off of that, as you can see. This is a little cantaloupe plant that I just transplanted to the aquaponics system yesterday. This is one of the very few ones that came up naturally from my old soil garden, and I wanted to save by putting in the aquaponics system. So here we've got cantaloupe, another cantaloupe, another cantaloupe. This bucket has yet to be planted. Same here. This cantaloupe I also salvaged from my soil garden that was coming up naturally. I added it to the system yesterday. I recently made this bucket. This is a 27-gallon tote that normally has a yellow lid. I painted it black to keep the sunlight down to a minimum and algae growth minimized. So you can see some of the paint rubbing off a little bit. But basically my water on this one flows up from my supply line that normally feeds all the drip lines and everything for the Dutch buckets, and it just sprays in here. If I take this cup out, I put a cap, a 3/4 inch cap, and drilled 2 holes, 2 small holes in the cap. And what that does, instead of letting the water just pour in there, it actually sprays down into the water, which kind of causes a little bit of aeration and gives a little bit of extra aeration to the water that's sitting in here, just so it's not stagnant. I've also got aeration in other parts of the system, but just want to make sure everything's getting proper air. This is cilantro. Now these 2 cilantro plants right here I transplanted from soil. All of this other was from seed. These are pepper plants, butterleaf lettuce, and basil. Then I've got some variety of a red leaf lettuce. I think this one has white roots. You got one? No, that's the one that has the maroon roots. Check that out. Isn't that pretty neat? So that big one over there also has the red roots on it. And this giant one here, I don't think I said, it's butterleaf lettuce there as well. Here we have another, this is watermelon right here actually. So we've got watermelon. And you can see my tomatoes. These were all started from seed, guys. They've never touched soil. They've only been in the aquaponics system. So we've got blooms. Find them on here. I saw them last night. So we've got some starting up here. These little flowers. Got some little blooms there. The squash is really taken off. We've actually got some squash on the vine already. Some nice big blossoms and blooms. This one here is loaded with blooms. We're going to have squash all over the place here on this one as well. I trimmed off a couple of the lower stems yesterday, just pruning some things up. But I've also got tomato blossoms on pretty much all of these plants. I'm having trouble finding them in a short amount of time, but there's some on here. And my idea was if I could make a PVC structure that kind of went up and tied into this. This is just 2x2s. I attached them to my cinder blocks for support, and I can tie my tomatoes and vine type plants up when they start getting big enough that they need the support. And I'm hoping to maybe get the watermelon and cantaloupe vines and just drape them all back and forth between these PVC pieces and make kind of a canopy here. Let's check on the fish tank over here. I need to give the glass a little wipe down for algae and whatnot. But the fish are doing really well. They're very active. When I feed them, they eat everything in there in a short amount of time. I'll go ahead and give them a little bit. And they've grown quite a bit.